What's up, YouTube? I'm live because I have nothing better to do with my life. Because I have to clean tanks, which isn't fun at all. But that's what happens when you have animals. Lots and lots of animals. So, in the title, I'm getting a new animal soon. Don't know what kind, I know what kind. It's going to be an arboreal, which means it likes vertical things and it won't really touch the ground. It's also very mean, as in it's going to bite the shit out of me as soon as I get it. I'm not going to get it for a couple months, probably, because I have to set everything up for it. I need to figure out a little bit more about it. I got most of it set up. Most of it. Not all of it. Took 10-gallon, set it on its end. They're like humidity, so there's paper towels in the bottom. The one that I'm getting is really probably advised against. Well, it is advised against getting one when you don't know what you're doing because of their bite and how likely they are to bite and how mean they are, which is why I want one. Because who doesn't want a lizard that'll try to eat you? Usually I would say that's a joke, but kind of for real. It's literally probably going to try to eat me. As long as I get my finger close enough, it'll take my finger. Not off, but it'll take a chunk. So I'm going to end up getting a tokay gecko, which is this little, like, gray-blue gecko. They're really cool looking. They're just not nice. The main reason I want them is because they bark. So if you piss them off, they'll bark at you, which is amazing. But I'm getting it because I wanted a crested gecko. Because I really wanted an arboreal lizard. You know, one that would climb on stuff. One with like toe pads, which makes it so it can stick to pretty much anything. And I wanted a crested gecko, but the site that I was on wanted, I think it was $80 or $90 for it. Which I guess isn't bad. But I mean, they don't do a lot. Kind of like glorified geckos that climb on walls. Or glorified leopard geckos that crawl on walls. It is a gecko. But what I'm getting is it's really known. It's really mean. Probably one of the meanest lizards I'm willing to get. Actually, not super willing to hold it. I mean, I'm gonna because I'm buying it, but they're mean. And they've got really strong jaws for a tiny lizard. And he's going to go, I honestly don't know where he's going to go. Because he's going to be a wild caught, which means he can have a bunch of problems with him and stuff. And depending on what those problems are, he might go in a quarantine tank. He might end up with a 10-gallon, depending on the size of him. I was also thinking about giving him the gigantic 75-gallon because right now I have geckos in it and they don't really move around a lot. Like they do, but I feel like they'd like it better in a little bit smaller tank. That way they don't have to walk all the way across the tank for their water, and then walk all the way back. Because they hide in this one hide. Usually. 3 out of the 4 hide in the same hide. But yeah, I'm going to be getting Tokay Gecko, which will be really cool. I'm just not super psyched about getting bit by one because their jaws are strong enough to break skin and do damage. Because you guys can't even see me. I'm cleaning. Because their jaws are strong enough to do damage and stuff, and when they bite, they do it kind of like they're hunting, so they'll shake their head back and forth. So they definitely break skin very easily. And everyone that I've watched online so far that has one is like, these are not beginners, do not buy them. They're terrible. They're amazing, but they take a little bit to tame, and if you mess with them wrong, they will rip your skin open, which doesn't sound very appealing at all. But on the other hand, it looks amazing. They sound amazing. And they do everything I want, so I'm going to get one. Problem I'm having, though, is getting this tank set up for him. Because he likes a vert tank. I don't have a vert tank, so the best I can do for him is a 10-gallon, which, honestly, he'd probably do fine in. It's one of the taller 10 gallons. Or longer, I guess. Whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. Whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of green in whatever tank he's in. Because he's from Asia. That looks better. The geckos made a mess in their tank, so I'm cleaning it. After this, I'll show you like the best thing ever. It's amazing. It's one of my other pets. I don't know if I've shown it in a video or not. I probably have, and I'm just going to show you it again. Only I can almost guarantee you I've never shown you it eating, because it just started like eating in front of me. Look, that's pretty clean. It's a toad. Now, you might be thinking, why the hell do you have a toad? Well, why the hell not? I caught him in the front yard. Didn't have to go hard to find him. Literally hopped in the door. And if you throw stuff next to him and he sees it, you'll tell when he sees it because he'll pop his head over. There he goes. Get another one ready because that happens. And he will eat as many of these mealworms as I put in there. I don't know how, but no matter how many I put in there, he will eat them. And he'll follow them around to eat them. I used to have, I think, 4. Well, at first I had 11 toads because the big tank opened up because the lizard died and I didn't know what to put in it. So I put a gigantic toad. I think he likes it in here a lot more than where he was because he was in my 40-gallon, which is over on the table. which is actually all cleaned out now. Almost. I still have to get some of the sand out. There wasn't sand. Well, there was sand in it, but it's this little bit down here. And I kind of need to just sweep it out. Get a broom and dustpan or something. Get all that out. But there's cardboard and stuff over it. And he wasn't there, but it's very cold in this house. Because, I don't know. It's very, very cold in this house. And I does not like it. But it must be. And I was going to get a crested gecko because with crested geckos, they like around 70, 75, which is how I like it. So they wouldn't really need a heat light. I mean, they'd have to get a supplement with vitamin D3 so that they had like energy. But I mean, that would have been like perfect. I wouldn't have had to buy any expensive lights. I wouldn't have had to buy any extra stuff. I mean, they eat a special food, but that's about it. With Tokay Gecko, he doesn't eat a special food. He just eats a lot of food, depending on which size I get. Again, I don't know which one they're going to send me. I'm pretty sure because they're wild caught, they just go out and catch one, usually, I'm assuming. I don't know, I'm kind of making shit up as I go. But, I mean, I don't know. So here's the setup I have so far for it. It's not done, so don't criticize. I mean, there is an animal in here. He doesn't really go anywhere, so I can kind of open this. If it went somewhere, though, that kind of sucked, because it's kind of slippery. But, yeah, it's cooling down a little too much. So I have the heat pad over here to keep it warmer down here, and because heat rises, so it does all that stuff. Then I have these lamps over here, which are supposed to heat it up a little bit. And he likes it around 75 and 85. And it's around the right temperature, but that's because I had a heat lamp up here on the top, and it was sitting right here. So that's that. The little animal's a tree frog. He kind of just sits there. He's kind of fun. It's also very difficult. He doesn't want to leave. Go. Into the tank, not out of the tank. Go. There you go. He climbs around all the time. And he eats the mealworms too. Only he gets put in a little tiny container. This little thing. I put 3 mealworms in there and he usually eats them. There's one in there still. He didn't finish. But that's that. And as of right now, I don't know how long this will last. I have 2 open tanks. I have another tank coming in soon, which I believe is a 25 to 30 gallon. I'm not sure which one. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. And I might put Tokay Gecko in that. It honestly all depends on if I can get this little tank up to the right temperature without a lot of effort, because I hopefully want to use stuff that I already have. And since I have a lot of reptiles, I mean, I don't have the most. I mean, almost all of them are the same species. They're all geckos. Because everyone loves geckos. Who doesn't love geckos? Geckos are amazing. You can get all different kinds. I mean, like, look at this. It's amazing. A lot of lizards you can't even do this with because they're too big or they're too mean or they move around too much. He kind of just chills. And they kind of do whatever they want. They're not very fast. I mean, they can take off when they want to, but they usually don't. They're not super fast. It's about as fast as they go. And they're fairly decent sized. The other one, of course, by the name, is a gecko, but it's bigger. It's going to be about a foot long when I get it. Around a foot long. But, I mean, who doesn't love geckos? Like, that's amazing. Look at that. It's like a little raptor. That's adorable. But they're not very happy with me right now because I took away their... That should take off some of the glare. I took away their heat lamp. Well, not their heat lamp, but their heat pad. Because I needed it for the other tank so I could see how it works. And then they'll get it back. So I'm not going to get the other lizard for a little bit. But there we go. Yeah, now you can see it. But I wanted to see if I could get this tank up to the right temperature because I didn't want to get the other lizard and be like, oh, I can't do it without this stuff. And then have to wait to get that stuff, so he has to stay somewhere else or not in an ideal spot. And tokay geckos are really adaptable, but I don't really want to make him adapt. I kind of want him to be what he's used to. Don't jump on the keyboard. Please don't jump. But honestly, I was looking around on a reptile website, and I was looking for the crested gecko because I wanted a crested gecko because they're kind of the same thing as a tokay gecko. I honestly didn't even know what a tokay gecko was until I started looking for the crested gecko, and it showed up. But I was on a website looking for reptiles online, and I usually go on there just to look at them because they got a lot of weird reptiles. But I was scrolling through it, and they wanted... It's $50 for just the lizard if I got a crested gecko. It's $10 for just the lizard if I get the tokay gecko. And there's still shipping involved, so the crested gecko would have been around $80, $90, and the tokay gecko is around $50. Which I still think is a lot better deal considering the tokay gecko. The tokay gecko is bigger and it talks. And I don't know what I'm going to name it though. That's probably going to be to do with it biting. Because they really like to do that. And they're not afraid to show you that they like to do that. So they walk around, and when you get near them, they'll open up their mouth to show that they're going to bite. That way, in case you forgot that they like to bite, you remember that they are about to bite you. And they'll do like fake out bites and stuff where they kind of like jump at you and kind of like bark. But not too worried about that. I'm more worried about the actual biting. Because they're not like the leopard geckos in any way. The leopard gecko bites you. Don't really feel it. I mean, you can tell it happened if you're watching, but if you're not watching, you can't really tell. Because they don't have really strong jaws. Tokay gecko has very strong jaws. And they like to use them for biting, which isn't very fun, especially when you're the one getting bit. Yeah, this tank's already getting too cold. Okay. Let's see here. Trying to find a way. Because like if I have to use the heat lamp, I have to use a heat lamp. That's fine. I don't really care. I have so many heat lamps. It's not even funny. I have dual heat lamps, single heat lamps, switch heat lamps, button heat lamps. Heat lamps all over the place. And the bulbs aren't... I have plenty of bulbs too. The problem is, I don't want to have to get another bulb because one's too strong. And like, I'll understand if I really end up having to. Kind of how it goes. But if I can avoid it, that would be ideal. We'll see how this looks. See how this heats up. I'll probably stay on that stick a lot. And it's probably going to get way too hot up top, but they're pretty smart, so they should know better than to go up to where they'll get burned. Now I'll find a way to get this to work. Eventually, if it ends up me having to go get a different bulb, that's fine. Probably end up having to get like a 25 watt. Something like that. Boy, look at it. It just sits there. I've never seen a toad this calm. Like, I'm holding it, and it doesn't care. It's just sitting there. It doesn't really want to do anything. It's just chilling. It's crazy. But I have another tank coming, and then with that tank, it'll bring in new opportunity things. So I might get 2 new animals instead of 1. Eventually. I don't know. Really want to get a snake. Don't know what kind of snake, but I want to get some kind of snake. But I don't know how to take care of snakes. I do lizards. And they have legs. Snakes do not. So I don't know if there'd be too much of a difference concerning with reptiles, but I mean, don't know how I'd get their food or anything like that, so I probably won't get a snake for a while. I am going to get a tokay gecko. Because I really want one now, and I mean, who doesn't want an extremely mean lizard? Like, that just sounds amazing, right? Like a lizard that whenever you try to feed it, it'll try to eat you instead of the food. Lizard that whenever you try to hold it, it tries to bite you. Sounds amazing. But I've got this tank came with a kit that I bought that came with white gecko. When I bought the gecko, I didn't just buy the gecko. I bought a whole kit, and the white gecko came with it for like $5. So I bought this, and it was like $100, $115, somewhere around there. And it came with, let's see if we can find it. Actually, I don't know if I'm using any of it. It came with the thermometer thing, which is the only thing that I have to measure heat, because I never actually bought another thermometer because I only had one reptile at a time, and I really need to buy more. But it came with that. It came with dual light, which isn't bad. It's actually really nice, and I really like it because it's got actual switches. I have both of them on since it's cold as shit in this house. And it came with 2 bulbs to go in the things. It came with the red bulb I'm using right there. And I've had the gecko for a while. The gecko was my first reptile. I think it's either a gecko or an anole. One, 2 were my first reptiles. And then it came with the white bulb. This one actually just recently burnt out. I'm kind of bummed about because I kind of liked it. This would have been the white version of that red one because they're both 50 watt. I think. Yeah, they're both 50 watt. And apparently 50 watts is too high. But I don't know. It's kind of sticking at 70 down here. I mean, it's down below foliage and stuff. I mean, it's also above cold water, so we'll put it on top of these leaves because it'll probably sit here a lot. It's kind of like a natural bed. not very hidden though, so we might actually stay underneath. I don't know how it's gonna behave. Let's see here. The dogs are outside because they're being annoying. And I was trying to clean. And I shouldn't have to be annoyed by dogs when I'm cleaning. Originally I had the 10-gallon that's on the floor, which is now being used for crickets. This 10-gallon was originally set up as the vert tank. Because I had the vert tank set up long before I knew I was going to get the tokay gecko, because I got the tree frog, and tree frog climb trees, so they might as well like a tall tank. And then I started I actually kind of like that, because I don't know, I feel like I can do more with this. I know I can't. I know I could definitely do a lot more with the 75-gallon, but with the stuff that I have, like little bits and pieces of stuff that I have can make this tank look really good. So I ended up doing this. And I mean, I kind of like it. So I wanted to get some kind of arboreal, and the first thing that came to mind was crested gecko, because crested geckos love climbing. They're known for climbing and jumping and all that stuff. And they're fairly slow. They're the arboreal version of a leopard gecko. They're slow. They kind of look stupid. They don't really move around a lot, but they're fun to watch. Sometimes. Sometimes they just walk back and forth, which is still better than nothing. Then you got this guy that whenever you walk by the tank, he'll either open up his mouth, hiss, flare up, bark, or talk. There's no him just staying there. If he notices you, he will do one of the above. Very loudly. They're not very quiet. Kind of like the stupid chicken outside. I don't even know where the fuck it is. Oh well. But I haven't done a video in forever, so I thought I'd do a live stream. I mean, I'm just cleaning right now, but that's better than nothing. That chicken's very annoying, so I'm gonna end this live stream and go see if I can find out where the hell that chicken is and try to get it to shut up. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know that wasn't a very good live stream. Didn't really do a lot. Nothing really happened. You saw a few animals and then found out about another animal that I'm getting. And I might do an unboxing of it. I might end up forgetting and just throwing it in the tank. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll probably do another stream eventually. So that's it.